Right guys, today your LO is to find the midpoint of a line segment and the endpoint of a line segment. So imagine I wanted to power break this roof tile. Where would I strike it? And you've got it right if you said the middle.
Today, Ed wants to put his power to the ultimate test. With one blow from his hand, he will attempt to smash through a 20-stone stack of concrete.
There's no way I can afford to let my guard down. I probably could injure myself if I took it too lightly.
Hi Ed, I'm Paul from Salford University.
Good to meet you.
What we're hoping to do is measure the force that you're actually generating on impact of the blocks, and also measure the velocity that your arm's moving at as well, so we can work out exactly how fast your limb's moving and how much that contributes to the force that you're generating.
Ed needs at least 300 pounds of force, an impact that would normally shatter bone.
Concrete does deserve respect, especially when you want to break it with the human hand.
Newton's second law states that every action has an equal and opposite reaction, whereby if he makes contact with this and it doesn't break, the force bounces back at him, and that's where it's going to create the damage, but possibly even breaking the bones in the hand or the arm.
I'm going to demolish it.
Worst case scenario is he gets it wrong and the block breaks him rather than him breaking the block.
I totally believe my bones are harder than any material, any wood, any concrete. I become into like a hypnotherapy state. I actually become someone else. I play a character. I become a character called the Thug. To me, he's the best breaker in the world, where I actually believe my hand is a knife going through butter.
This is the force, the peak force at impact, and you can see here that actually we've gone off the scale and he was exerting over 200 kilograms of force. You're doing that within about 0.2 of a second, so you're generating a very high force in a very short period of time, which is difficult to train people to do. You need a combination of both strength and speed of movement. That definitely puts him in the sort of superhuman category.
My kids will love that. I think it's fantastic. That's a real honour.
If a normal person hits the stack, their bones would break. So why not Ed's? The answer is his have been toughened by years of training. Each time there's an impact, microscopic fibers shatter, but in a principle called Wolff's Law, grow back bigger and stronger, giving Ed harder and denser bones.
From all the years of training that he's done, he's been loading the bones for probably 30 plus years, combined with obviously very good technique as we've just seen, and he's hitting with the heel of his hand as well, so it's not direct contact to a bony surface, so he's certainly conditioned himself for what he's doing.
There's no good having the strength and the speed if you don't believe in yourself.
And that's what we're going to learn today. Yes, you know that will be 6, because you can see that visually, that midpoint would be 6. And this one would be 4. Now this is a bit more difficult, isn't it? It's 16 and 82. That's quite hard to do instantaneously. Now, I'm going to show you, if you think, if we call this the first x coordinate, and call that the second x coordinate, if you do x1 plus x2 divided by 2, you will get the midpoint. And you can see that because 2 adds 6 divided by 2 equals 4. That's how we got that. Now, because this is a vertical line, now this is written the wrong way round, but let's just call that y1 and y2, because that's a vertical line. Now, so the midpoint of this will be y1 plus y2 divided by 2, so that's 4 add 8 divided by 2, which equals 6. So now we can apply this to this. Let's call this x1, call that x2. So we've got x1 plus the second point divided by 2. That's going to be 16 plus 82 divided by 2. Now 16 plus 82 is 98 divided by 2, and you'll know that is 49. And that would be right in the middle of those two numbers. Let's go over here and try it with this one. Now I'm just going to call that y1 for now, and that y2, because that's actually quite hard to work out. But if you use this, and you can see it working for the easier examples. So y1 add y2, so 16 add 128 divided by 2, well, that's going to equal 144 divided by, perfect. So here's the example of two coordinates. I'm going to try and find a midpoint. Now, you can actually visualize this a lot of the time. That's the example in PowerPoint, but I'll do this my way because I prefer it. So can you see what's this coordinate? That coordinate is 2, 1, because that's 2 there. I'm going to call that the first x coordinate, and that's the second y coordinate. And this one is going to be 4, 7. That's x2, y2. So the midpoint formula, this is called a midpoint formula. And you can see it sort of makes sense. So let's do x1, which is 2, add x2 is 4. So let's do 2 add 4 divided by 2 equals 3. So we know the first coordinate of the midpoint is 3. That's where that comes with. And let's do y1 plus y2 now. So that is y1, guys. 1 add 7 divided by 2. 1 add 7 divided by 2 equals 4. So that answer will be 3, 4. And that is perfect. And you can actually just see that here visually. That's part 3. And that is 4 there. And then, so that is really going to boost your understanding of why this works. That's 3, 4. Right. I'm going to do one more for you. Let's look at the midpoint. You could probably do this visually because you could probably see it is just about there. That's the midpoint. So if you get this type of question in the exam and it's in a graph that's to scale, you can actually straight away just write the coordinate in and say that is 3, 5, because you can see that that's going 2, 3 down, 2 across. So it's got to follow that same pattern because it's going to be a line. 3 down, 2 across. I'm showing you this for understanding of another topic later. But let's just use the formula. Let's label this point x1, y1, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 2. And this coordinate is 1, 8. With that being x2, y2. So let's use this formula right here. I'm going to do it right on top of this. So x1 plus x2, that becomes 5 add 1 divided by 2. You can write it straight away like that as a coordinate and just work it out later. So y1 is 2 plus y2, which is 8. All divided by 2. So that becomes 6 over 2 and 10 over 2 as coordinates, and we're just going to simplify that to 3/5, and that's normally a 2-mark question. And I suppose this working out would normally give you an M1 mark, and that's your A1. But because you can work this out mentally most of the time, you should get full marks by just writing the answer down. And you can see it visually, you can see the line. That's another step, you can do it that way as well. And it's 3/5, is that. Right, 4 questions for you to try on your own. Pause the video, and I'm going to give you the answers right now. If you got that right, well done, you're almost there. Really good work. I'm showing you like this so you can actually see it working. That's very important in maths, so you get a good understanding. Another 2 to try. You're going to get very quick at this. Pause the video, have a go. You got it. And you've got it. Well done if you got those right. So that is grade 3 achieved. Right. Try these ones now, because it's got some negative numbers. And let's see if you can get that right. I'm just going to go through one. And that's question 7. So let's, first point is to get this coordinate right. If you get that wrong, you'll make a mistake. So it's -4, 1. And this one is 4, 4. When you get good at labelling x1 and x2, you just don't need to do it. So -4 add 4. That will cancel out, divided by 2. And then you've got 4 add 1. Because you're adding numbers, it doesn't matter which way round you do it, because addition is commutative. And that means 1 add 4 is the same as 4 add 1. So -4 add 4 is 0, and 0 divided by 2 is 0. That's 5. 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. And that will be that answer. And I'm sure you aced all the other questions. If you've got that -1 below, that's excellent as well. Because that's good negative number skills, you do need that. And have a think of how you can find a rule or formula to find the endpoint of a line if you're only given 1 point and a midpoint, which is the next activity. I'm going to show you how to do question 1A, just so this makes sense to you. So A is a point 1, 2. So essentially we're trying to find a midpoint between A, so I'm going to call that x1, y1, and this will help you for finding the gradient as well. And then the coordinate of B is 5, 8. So I'm going to use the formula x1 plus x2. So x1 is 1, x2 is 5. 1 add 5 divided by 2, plus 2 add 8 divided by 2. That's going to be 6 divided by 2, so that answer is 3. 10 divided by 2 is, that's going to be the answer. Now give the rest a go yourself. Second section, you'll get some practice with negative numbers, which is really important. And I'm going to show you the answers now. I hope you can make those out over my writing. Yes, you can. Perfect. Really well done if you got that. You've understood this really quickly. Right. This is what I mean by an exam question. This is not to scale. You don't have a grid line either to do it visually. So give it a go yourselves, guys. You should be able to do it. Easy 2 marks. 1 mark is for the method. 1 mark is for the answer. And I'm going to work that out now. So you've got the x1 is an x2, so that's going to be 2 add 12 divided by 2. add 3 plus 7 divided by 2. So that's 14 divided by 2. So the answer is 7, 5. If you got that, that's your method 1, that's your answer 1. Well done, guys. Super work. So, this is my explanation of how you can find the endpoint when you just given a start point and a midpoint. So, let's have a look at here. Now, can you see this start point is here? Now, can you see it's going left 2 and up 3? And if that's the start point, that's the midpoint, then it must follow the same pattern for the end point. So it's going to go left 2 again and up 3 to be here. And you can see that that coordinate is 1, 7. It's the same answer we got here. So let's show you this example here, but just using the coordinates, because you normally don't get this in a nice perfect graph for you, because you can just do it easily. So look, we've got 4, 1. And I'm probably going to go vertically this way because it's easier. That's the start point. Start. Middle. Now the middle is 2, 3. That's the midpoint, 2, 3. So if you do it like this, it's a lot easier. So that's minus 2. That's plus 2. So it must follow that same pattern like I showed you before. So 2 minus 2 is 0. 3 plus 2 is 5. So the end point is 0, 5. That was minus 2. And you can see that because look, it's going 2, 2, 2, 2. That is the coordinate 0, 5. I think you can give those a go. See if you can give those a go, guys. Right, now I'm going to show you one last time. Here we go. The start. And if you lay it out like this, it becomes really easy. But you must get the coordinates correct. So, because look, is that really minus 3? That's the most common error people make on this. Because I went downstairs first. You don't go downstairs before you get to maths. It's along the corridor and up and down the stairs. Or if you think about whenever you go into an elevator, you always normally have to walk across somewhere to get to the elevator and you go up and down. So that start point is actually 2 minus 3. Let's write the midpoint down. 4, 1. Now, so from minus 3 to 1, that's being plus 4, right? So you've got a plus 4 again to get the end point. That's 5. You can see that's being plus by 2 there. So we're going to plus 2 to the x as well. And that's 6. And hopefully that really makes sense to you guys. Right, let's see if you got those two correct. And you can see that that endpoint is 6, 5. And from the start, that's 2, 6. But you're going to get plenty of practice later. So here you go. So A here, just so you know, is the start. And it's the same, and that's the mid. It's exactly the same principles if they give you the end point and the midpoint, and they ask you to find the start point. of the line. You just use the same method, right? That all should make sense to you. So let's see. A is 1, 2. And B is 5, 8. So you can see that's gone plus 6, plus 4, so I'm going to plus 6 here, plus 4, so the endpoint answer is going to be 9, 14. Right, give the rest of the questions a go. And here are the answers. Well done